Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 7 waiver wire video for you guys. We do have obviously one more game for the Monday night, which is the Chargers versus the Broncos. So hopefully you guys don't have any players that you're scrambling to need those extra points to get you the win, and you've already at that point. Now, these are going to be a Week 7 waiver wire video. There obviously are teams on bye, so you got to make sure you can account for that. And of course, injuries that have occurred over the weekend. So hopefully these players help give you some extra value going into Week 7 to get you into the right position. Now, the first player I want to talk about is going to be Taylor Heineke. This is the only quarterback I believe is a good waiver wire pickup based off of availability. Right now, he's available 100%. He's going against the Packers, and the reason why he's available and why you might want to stash him is the fact that Wentz has now been confirmed of a broken finger, meaning he's out at least 4 to 6 weeks. Could be longer depending on what happens with the finger. But with that said, we are now back to Heineke season. So Heineke will be the guy in this aspect. He's worth grabbing again for maybe, filling in buys or, maybe a super flex or just want to stash him in general just to have him on your roster. But Taylor Heineke is a good one you should be grabbing this week. Now, running backs, right now I've got Philip Lindsay as a good pickup this week going against the Tennessee Titans. He's available in 88% of most leagues. If Jonathan Taylor is still out and Hines is still out with his concussion, Lindsay takes sole possession of RB1 right now. Deion Jackson did an amazing job this weekend filling out and actually doing a really good job for the Colts. He kind of came out of nowhere, and a lot of people thought maybe Lindsay might have gotten some extra time there, but realistically, Jackson did a phenomenal job. But he did hurt his quad in this game. He had to leave. Philip Lindsay came in. So even Jackson is out. So if both, Taylor, Hines, Jackson, all these guys are out, Philip Lindsay now becomes the RB1 for Tennessee, so he's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Another running back I like this week is going to be Kenyon Drake against the Browns. The Ravens, I'm not sure what they're doing with Dobbins. I know Dobbins' knee flared up, which caused him to kind of sit out this game. It was very, very limited. Kenyon Drake is right now available in 96% of most leagues. And Drake filled in actually really nicely at over 100 rushing yards, had a touchdown. He looked very explosive in this game. So he's going to be clearly the RB1 if Dobbins still has that knee issue. Gus Edwards is supposed to be coming back soon, but he's not cleared this week yet. So again, Kenyon Drake's a nice little bye week fill or maybe a nice little flex for this week. Another running back I still am pushing to pick up is Brian Robinson Jr. Look, he's available only 35% of most leagues. So most likely in your league, he's not available, but 35%, it should be less. He's clearly the RB1 for the Commanders. He wasn't as effective as you were hope. Gibson actually looked a little bit better to kind of help bring the offense going, but you could tell Rivera did not want to give up on Robinson at all. He kept putting Robinson in position to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. He was clearly the RB1. He did score his first touchdown this game, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to kind of become really the guy for sure, just because, again, he missed time with his injury and I just think this offense is going to still be utilizing McKissick or Gibson because right now Brian Robinson's still not receiving any targets his way as far as the passing game goes. It might change with Heineke in there. We'll see how this plays out with the new quarterback change just based off the injury. But I like Brian Robinson. If he's available in your league, you should be grabbing him. Now, as far as wide receivers go, the first wide receiver I have is Alec Pierce. I had him last week. He still did pretty good this week. He's going against the Tennessee Titans. He's available in 62% of most leagues. Pierce saw 7 targets this past Sunday, which tied Paris Campbell, who actually did really well, kind of came out of nowhere. He only finished with 3 receptions, though, which was kind of a bummer, but he did score, which helped him get into the double digits again. But again, look at his average. He's averaging 7 targets a game the last 3 games. So he's seen the usage. He's seen the slot. He is a must-grab receiver. I don't know why he's at 62%. I talked about him last week. He didn't do amazing, but he still did pretty well, especially if you put him in a flex position. So again, if you have the spots, grab Alec Pierce this week. Another receiver I like is Wan'Dale Robinson, the rookie. A lot of rookies I'm talking about here, but he's going against Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, he's available in 92% of most leagues. I know a lot of people are unsure what to do with the New York Giants wide receivers, but Robinson returned to his first game since week 1. He scored a touchdown in this game. With the lack of receivers, Robinson is clearly the best play for anybody you might want to play from the Giants receiving core. Daniel Jones would target him. Again, he's a good flex play here and there. Against the Jaguars matchup, I do like him actually. If obviously Tony Galladay and, the rest of the receiving core is still out. So Rondell Robinson is a nice little sneaky play right there. Now, the last receiver I'm going to mention is going to be Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson against the Saints. I know the Saints. He got traded just recently to the Arizona Cardinals. This was breaking news on Monday. He's available in 88% of most leagues. Because Hollywood Brown is possibly gone for the season, we're going to get more information, but he's most likely gone. This is a bit of a stretch since Hopkins is coming back, but Robbie Anderson is a nice stash that you could probably grab because he's really going to fill in nicely. I think it's still going to be Hopkins, Rondell Moore, but Moore's more of the slot guy, so Anderson might be the wide receiver 2 opposite of Hopkins, and he might benefit in this particular offense. Now we're leaving a Panthers offense that just can't do anything. So Anderson's a nice little stash you can grab. Again, he's available in 88% of most leagues. Now, as far as tight ends go, the first tight end I have is Mike Gesicki going against the Steelers. He's available in 76% of most leagues. Now, the reason why you might want to grab Gesicki is if Smythe is missing a second game. Smythe missed this past weekend. Gesicki played really well this past weekend while he filled in that starting role. He saw 7 targets, turned seven of them into 6 receptions and a little over 60 yards and 2 touchdowns this game. Now, don't expect the same performance, obviously, as touchdowns go, but he could get very similar targets if Smythe is out again. So he's one you want to keep an eye on the injury report, but I do like Gesicki as a nice little pickup if you need to stream a tight end. The last tight end I think is going to be a nice little streaming tight end would be Daniel Bellinger against the Jaguars. Look, he's available in 98% of most leagues, and I understand why. Bellinger has had a touchdown in each of the last 2 games, though. Now, you shouldn't chase touchdowns in fantasy just because that's not sustainable at all. But what I like about Bellinger is a possible streaming tight ends due to the lack of weapons, again, to the Giants. With all the injuries that are going on with the wide receiver core, Bellinger's actually stepped up and done a really good job for Daniel Jones and being a pretty prominent target for him, especially in the red zone. So the fact that he's had 2 touchdowns the last 2 games, they're putting him in the game plan. I like Bellinger as a nice little streaming tight end. So those are my week 7 waiver wire pickups for you guys this week. If there are other players that I did not mention that you think are worthy of some waivers, again, hit me in the comments, let me know. Or if you have questions of who you should start or sit, who you should be grabbing in waivers, or even if you have trade questions, because a lot of people are starting to do some trades right now. Again, let us know in the comments. We'll be able to help answer those questions for you. If you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell is on. That way you guys are notified every time we drop a video just like this. Of course, if you hit the like button, is greatly appreciated. Helps the channel out a lot in getting that YouTube algorithm. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Again, we'll be dropping our start and sits for you guys this week. Hopefully you guys are getting that victory. I'm going to send all the luck to any player you guys need for your guys' Monday night victory. And make sure you guys check out our start and sits. And we'll check you guys out next time.